Hey guys, Yu-Gi-Oh! UK1 here. I'm going to now go on to the metagame as it is stands right now, and what we will be looking out for at the YCS Kansas, which is coming up on the 19th of November. So just a week away now, um, which is so happens to be my birthday as well. um, anyway, so I'm going to touch on four decks. Obviously, plants being the main one. Then we have Agents, Dark World, and Rescue Rabbit. I'll go on to Rescue Rabbit and Rescue Rabbit first, as this is the one which a lot of people will be thinking will flop. I personally, for my testing, like the deck. I've been using a build similar to the one that was on M1240's channel. I didn't net deck it. It just so happens that I had a build that he also was testing, which was I thought was kind of funny. Although I've changed mine to the metagame with mainly 3 maxes as well. Um, anyway, so I can understand it flopping. It has inconsistencies with the normal monsters, although even though they're beat sticks, but it still doesn't claim that much field presence because of what can be accomplished in the game right now, and how fast the pace the game can turn into. So I can easily see Rabbit flopping. Um, it's just come out. People haven't are questioning which build to use, whether to use the Durang with the dimensional visual in it, or to use the standard tour, with like just the tour guide guild art route. So it's not certain on what people's views on which build is better. There may not have been enough testing, and this could lead to how Dark World happened at YCS Columbus, and it ends up eventually flopping. I can see that as a very easy possibility. Um, I'll just leave it there because you don't test the right. If you're going to YCS Kansas, definitely try and test Rapid matchup, because it could be one of those first couple of round decks that you verse, and you're going to need to practice against it, know what to side and everything. So that's definitely what I'm going to advise you do. Um, the next one I'm obviously going to go to is plants, because that is the main deck. It is the known as, well, it is pretty much the best deck this format. The amount of plays you can do, the combination of plays you can do in a turn is ridiculous. It's definitely the most versatile deck. Um, yeah, so that is why it is seen as the best deck. It's obviously known for it as it's won the last 2 ICSs with Billy Break, which has been good. I'm glad Billy Breaks finally got up there and started winning the events. He's deserved it for the amount of tops he's got. Yeah, I definitely think it'd be a very good possibility to use in the upcoming YCSs. I personally think it's going to win Kansas, and I think it's going to win YCS Brighton as well. I just don't think I may not use it because I tend to always draw Spore and Glower Bolt, which is not very good. I'll definitely test it more, and hopefully I could try and use it, but I definitely need more testing. I'm going to leave plants there. If you're going to a big event, definitely test the plant matchup. It's going to be the main matchup you're going to want to test, because if you get to the top, it's going to be pretty much the only deck you're going to verse. Plants and agents are going to be the main decks that you can verse in the top cut. So definitely test the plant matchup, and it'll be the hardest matchup. I'm going to go on to briefly to agents now. It has a sort of flaw like Rabbit, where it has the 3 mystical triangles, which are normal monsters. However, if you don't face that problem, even if you do face that problem, you have Herald of Orange Light, which is ridiculously good. It's like Effect Veiler on steroids sort of thing. It's ridiculously good, and that can get rid of the dead triangle. It means the more lights and more fairies in the graveyard for Christia, for Hyperion for the destruction, or just the lights in there for Black Rust Soldier. Going on to that about how the amount of boss monsters Agent has is ridiculous. You start off with a bit of a trouble to begin with the Venus play, where you summon the Venus and you bring out a Gachi and you have a 2000 beta on your hands that you have to get rid of pretty much immediately, with also XCs on the field which have to kill 3 times, which pumps up your monsters originally, and which causes a bit of a dilemma. And then when you get rid of that problem, and the Hyperion comes down, and then you get rid of that problem, and then the Christia comes down, and if you got rid of that, then probably the Black Boss Soldier comes down, and then the Hyperion and the Christia, and it's just the amount of boss monsters is a bit unbelievable. Yes, so that is why Agents is a ridiculously good deck. Obviously, there's 2 builds. You have the TG build and you have the Toolkite build. With the TG build, mainly for people that are using that don't have tour guides. However, quite interesting that YTS Columbus TG variant got further on in the tournament, and when they went on to interview the person that piloted the TG agent, he mentioned the fact that he could have used the tour guides, but he just preferred the TG build, which causes the question, which build do you feel is better, the TG build or the tour guide build? I'm definitely in videos going to later on talk about this, the comparison between TG and tour guide, because that's a very interesting question, and with what the community you can discuss as well. Actually, in the comments below, if you wanted to start talking about that now, that would be help for the future video. So definitely also I'm going to not just talk about it, I'll probably end up doing some feature, like me playing with TG build and tour guide build, going against the mirror match, the plant matchup and the dark world matchup, as Dark Smog is a very good card. Yeah, so I'll probably do that in the future and go into that. Leave it there for the agent thing, but definitely if you have to test the agent matchup as well, if you go to a big event, I'm going to leave that there and carry that on in a further video. So then the final deck would be Dark Worlds. At YCS Columbus, it was a bit of a letdown that they didn't top because of all the hype of it. It's still a very good deck. Grapha is ridiculous. The field spell is very good, and Drag Down from the Grave is a retarded card. It's it's similar to a confiscation, and that's a bit ridiculous. As confiscation is banned, and you can use 3 Drag Down from the Grave, and with the Mind Crush and everything. So Dark Worlds are very good. They get the boost from Dark Smog, which can help improve their matchup against plants, against agents, and in general, to be honest, because when they declare an attack and you do Dark Smog to randomly remove a card and then discard Grapha just for the cock block to destroy the monster that's attacking. So Dark Smog is a very good card. I'm not going to say whether it will top or not because it's still uncertain. Definitely people that are testing it will definitely test the Dark World matchup. It's going to be a matchup which you may see more of. It also is a bit of a problem with people taking the Maxis now, doing them in multiples, and the Pet Vaders, as they are very dead against Dark Worlds. Yeah, so definitely be wary of all those matchups, test them, work out which ones are good matchups, which ones are bad matchups. I'll briefly, I'll leave the Dark Worlds one there as well, and go back onto that after YTS Kansas and my thoughts on how well Rabbit and Dark World did, whether it was expected for them to do well or flop, and why that happened. I'll quickly go into the sort of anti-metas. You have TG, which is got the boost of Fed from Saber Tiger if people decide to use it, and how it was last format with all of the Phantom Beast being a really good card. You have the typical stunt with Doom Caliber Knights, Thunder Kings, Banishers and Fossil Diners, and then you have the Hero Beat version, which sadly in the UK isn't as, or in Europe isn't as good because we don't have the Shining. So definitely test out those, as not as much but as the other matchups, but definitely see if you need to side a lot against the anti-meta matchups, as they could be a problem in the earlier round. I'll leave the video there. I hope you enjoyed it, and put in the comments below anything that you, any your thoughts on how I can improve or anything. And I've got a tournament tomorrow at my locals, and hopefully I can get some footage on there and get some interviews. Thank you for watching, and peace.